Hey everybody, welcome to episode 39 of the Anthem podcast. Obviously I'm wearing my Ravens jersey today because, as you already know, on Saturday...
the Ravens beat the Steelers and play the Patriots on Saturday.
So this week on the podcast, we're going to be talking about hockey. If you want to take a nap, it's a perfect time. We're also going to be talking about how Cory sang the national anthem at the professional bull riding at the Royal Farms Arena over the weekend, and my adventures in buying a new car. I'd say Cory's adventures too, but as always, he found a way to fuck that up. So all that and more is coming up on the Anthem podcast.
I would like to take this time to recap the best moments of the 2015 O the Anthem season so far. I would like to take this moment to recap the best moments of the 2015 O the Anthem season so far. This is Cory, and this is the O the Anthem podcast.
It was super witty of you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob, rocking the pop filter.
That's going to become the new thing that Rob does.
Well, no,
Get ready for it in 2015. It's going to be on all your fucking t-shirts. Pop filter. So white.
I noticed,
the two of us.
Very white. I noticed when recapping 2014 that a majority of the episodes start with me laughing because of some ridiculousness that you come up with on the spot.
Some nonsense that I thought up.
Like there was the German thing where you were like translating stuff in your phone, and we were in Ocean City, and you're like, later on this evening, Rob will be puking in the secret's bathroom. This is the Anthem podcast. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? You best, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we did.
I don't think you did go to Secrets. That's kind of a...
I did black out, though. That happened. Oh, man.
I feel like Secrets is like... I've already decided that whatever happens tonight is going to end with a bail review, so...
Yes. Part of the entry, it's actually a $200 cover to get into Secrets. $150 for bail. Yeah, $150 for bail, $50 for the band.
Fuck you guys. I'll just throw beer bottles across the wall all day. You're out of here. Fuck you, man.
And the cops are involved.
And the cops.
Oh.
And bail. What? And now you can't vote anymore.
That's a felony. It's really hard to get convicted of a felony. You'll be fine. So, welcome to 2015, everybody.
Yeah, it feels a lot more 2015-y than 2014 did.
I just ate a red whoopie pie, so it feels exactly the same to me.
Nothing has changed. I actually made the conscious decision to drink water instead of a Coke at some point during the first.
Did you?
3 days here that we've been in. I don't know why I looked at my empty wrist like that was a calendar, but
good for you though.
Yeah, I know. It's I said, this doesn't have nearly enough sugar in it, and then I just poured sugar into it.
God, I hope you didn't.
I poured my bottle of water into a pound of sugar, and then ate it with a spoon.
You like Men in Black? Sugar, water. Sugar, water.
I don't...
You don't know what that's from? Come on.
I have so little memory of Men in Black.
It's the guy from Vincent D'Onofrio from Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
As the alien inside him.
Right.
Can I get you something, baby? Like the farmer's wife, and he's like, sugar. Anyway, not important. So I'm going on vacation on the 14th, and I said, I'll start all that New Year's stuff after I get back. Because what I've thought about is this. Not enough time to get into shape for Puerto Rico in 14 days. Not going to happen.
I said to myself a similar thing, because on New Year's Day was the Winter Classic.
Right.
And when I woke up, like 15 minutes before the game started.
What time did the game start?
1 o'clock.
Oh, okay, yeah. You lazy assholes.
I said to myself, what's one more day?
Right.
This is technically a holiday. I should have a reprieve on this day.
Right.
So I figured I would begin the process of becoming healthier after New Year's.
Right. And then it's Friday, though. Then the second
Friday. It's Friday. Now we got a Steelers-Ravens game.
Right. And then tomorrow's real football day.
I can't even catch a break. I just want to eat wings and drink beer all day.
And then Monday will be the day.
Yeah, Monday's when I start. That's when I'm eating nothing but celery and water. And
Are you really?
No.
I think I'm going to try and have my sister do meal prep for me. And I just won't eat anything except for what she prefers.
I don't know. I feel like I should have a conversation with just like a nutritionist to figure out like
Let me express. Do you know that picture of the screaming man on the bridge? Like that,
Oh, yeah.
That?
The Scream.
The Scream.
Yeah.
That's you going to a nutritionist, describing what you eat on a daily basis. I have 9 Red Bulls. A what? 9? The can says 2 per day. That's a suggestion.
Does the can actually say anything?
No. The monsters.
I don't think they want to make you stop.
The monsters do say in the ingredients to limit yourself to 2 per day, and that's the big Red Bull. So I imagine it would be similar.
All I see on here is caffeine content: 189 milligrams for 20 fluid ounces. Not recommended for children, pregnant or nursing women, and persons sensitive to caffeine.
I wonder why.
I am, on the other hand, not sensitive to caffeine.
Nah.
At this point, I need to drink 9 Red Bulls just to get to normal.
Wait, see, what you need is a vacation where you can just detox from caffeine. Just 3 or 4 days off where you can sleep all day. So
Yeah.
Get over the caffeine. I do that occasionally, and then you have a cup of coffee and you're wired.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is great. But
I feel like I've been doing it for 30 straight years, so I'd probably need more than a couple. I need a full 28 days.
Just go to
Need to go.
What are you in for? Heroin. I was sucking dick for heroin. What are you in for?
Caffeine. Go to Sierra Tucson for 28 days. I gotta get that dragon off my back.
Is that a Coke? Are you drinking a Coke in here, man? God, what if I just came in here and shot up, huh? Would that be cool?
You alright with that, man?
Jesus. Anyway, yeah, so...
I'm in my room at Sierra Tucson trying to get off my caffeine habit. Just fucking smoking a joint by the window, and they're just no? I'm just come on, it's alright.
It's better than caffeine, right?
Better than the caffeine. That's gonna give me a fucking heart attack.
Although, the one place in the world that no one give you shit about smoking. Because they encourage the smoking, kind of.
Because it helps you get off of the more sensitive drugs.
Yeah, but no, and so you tell them you drink 9 Red Bulls, and you're like, well, I do supplement that with 2 liters of Coke over the course of the day.
Whenever I feel my heart starting to flutter a little bit, I just switch it to Coke.
Switch it to Coke. And then...
just try to mellow out that high a little bit.
Some Domino's for dinner. Burger for lunch. Yeah. I don't eat breakfast, though. I don't eat breakfast.
Well, when I do order Chinese food,
yeah,
I do get the sesame chicken and the pork fried rice. So that's super healthy.
It's
all... Nothing about that is unhealthy.
Not at all, yeah.
So, at least maybe I'll just order Chinese from now on.
Probably not. The MSG will kill you. Yeah, see, that's the best. Even though it might seem healthy,
right?
It's the insidiousness of the MSG.
Anyway, back to hockey.
Oh, God. I was trying to avoid the topic of hockey.
If you want to talk about things that are bad for your health, fucking watching the Capitals is right there at the top of the list.
Well, yeah. I mean, the loss in intelligence points that you
No, not that way.
Oh, okay.
It's
making you thinking that you might be a Canadian, makes you want to kill yourself.
You know what it is? It's a lot. Being a Capitals fan is probably a lot like what being a Detroit Tiger fan was this year.
Okay.
Because you have this potent offense,
right?
And you have great starting pitching,
right?
But then as soon as it got to the bullpen, the game was over.
Just giving up. Hope the starter goes straight through.
Jabba Chamberlain gives up 9 runs, and then you're done. So
By the way, I'd like to thank all the Detroit Tigers organization because you certainly made our October more interesting. So.
Yeah. And it was nice of Kansas City to the Chiefs to beat the Chargers.
Yes.
To allow the Ravens to get in and sort of make up a small little bit for the Royals.
Right. Well, because they needed to win, but they also needed the Ravens and somebody else to lose to get in, right? Chiefs could have got in.
If the Ravens lost, yeah.
Was it one or the other?
Well, the Ravens had to lose and they had to win.
So both teams were winning in. Yeah. Win with help and in.
Right.
But their win also helped us.
Right.
So if we both lost, Texas got in, right?
Yeah.
2 losses, Texas in.
Yeah.
I said I'm not going to see J.J. Watt anymore this year.
He was fucking insane all year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the Capitals are a lot like the 2014 Detroit Tigers in the sense that...
Tons of offense.
Tons of offense. A complete... It's not even apathy to defense. It's not even just
they're playing half the ice.
It's not... It's not even like, I guess I'll skate back for defense. It's just like somebody's back there, right?
The goal's not open, is it? Okay. We don't go. Excuse me. We don't go past the second blue line. Do they still have the blue lines?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't go past the second blue line. We'll let him handle it.
They have so much offense.
Mm-hmm.
They can score pretty much at will. Like when they have their opportunities, they score pretty
Right.
consistently. But they refuse to follow any kind of strategy. It looks like 5-year-olds playing hockey.
Crash the
like
goalie.
they don't
Crash
they
the
don't
goalie,
know
crash the goalie.
they don't know how to like move the puck around the offensive zone, like passing it around to try and get a lane.
Right.
See if you can get an open shot on goal, one
Power.
timer or something like that. It's just like fucking 5 people all crashing the net at the same. If we all just swing our sticks at the same time, eventually it'll go in.
You get that slow roller where the sticks, nobody touches it, but they just interfere with everybody else between the goalie's legs. Like, I don't know how that happened, but okay, sure.
But a refusal to play defense and no strategy or they have a head coach. I don't know what he does. Maybe
doesn't he have the rolled up program and he just sits over there with his fist, program in the fist, fist into the chin,
acting like he's awake.
Yes. I'm studying very deeply.
Has glasses with eyes on the outside, so it looks like he's awake.
You don't understand. I spent 8 months trying to teach them how to pass back and forth. At this point, I just say crash the goalie.
This is the problem though, because like every single sport, when you get to playoffs, defense wins championships.
Right, and
the Capitals have pretty consistently throughout their entire their latest run, like the Ovechkin era,
right.
Have
Is he still
been
playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's still the best player in hockey.
Okay.
So you got that going for you.
Sure.
During the Ovechkin era, they make the playoffs and then lose almost immediately because they refuse to play defense.
Right.
Defense fucked their mothers when they were young, and now they're like, you're not my dad, and now that's the way they live their lives.
Jesus Christ. Another thing I found upon review of our year thus far.
Yeah.
A lot of child molestation commentary from you, and a lot of fucking of mothers. And I don't really know.
I don't remember. When did I have any child molestation?
Oh, Adrian Peterson, like that whole entire episode was
that wasn't molestation, though. That was him beating his kid.
Yes, but you said at the end of the episode,
whip his dick out and slap him in the face with it or something like that.
You were saying Ryan Flaherty was touching the kid, and then like you're like, oh, I meant like Adrian Peterson, like hitting him, not like molesting
oh my god,
him.
I didn't mean like Adrian Peterson. I just made an Adrian Peterson reference like immediately before I said that.
Yeah, yeah, but before that, you were talking about how Ryan Flaherty touched children.
Yeah, like Adrian Peterson, because I mentioned his name.
Remember
oh
that
my god!
being, I don't
We're
remember that.
gonna fucking go to the videotape. But what I
anyway, so fucking the mothers,
yeah,
right?
Fucking
So
the mothers.
about fucking the mothers.
So defense collectively fucked the Capitals' mothers at some point when they were young, and now they refuse to have any part of it.
Now, how many teams are in the NHL?
30.
And isn't there playoffs set up so like 28 teams make the playoffs?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It's like there's a Peter Schmuck, the sports writer for the Baltimore Sun.
Yes.
Had the famous line about the NBA.
Right.
It translates the NHL as well.
He spent 82 games.
He spent 82 games to just eliminate the Clippers and the Wizards.
Right. Exactly right.
back when the Clippers and the Wizards were bad.
Although I guess the Clippers are not doing so bad this year.
No, Clippers are better than Lakers. Believe that.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, no. And the Wizards are actually good too.
Really? Yeah. See. I have no interest in.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact for it. Next time you're at a cocktail party.
Yeah.
Just casual, like if you're looking to like make a conversation with the group,
mm-hmm.
and you don't know what that like ice breaking line will be, you can just walk up and be like, "So the Wizards aren't terrible all of a sudden, right?"
Except for nobody cares. Really?
And everyone just looks at you and it's just like, "Who are the Wizards?"
Right.
They used to be the Bullets.
A Harry
basketball
Potter
team?
A Harry Potter thing? I don't...
But I was watching the Winter Classic with Kent,
right,
and I nearly died. The Capitals won in the closing seconds on a dramatic goal,
right,
which was great because we went crazy when that happened.
But the entire
second half, I was Is there really a capital story on the dead drop? Really?
When we were talking about it, the only reason I knew is because I saw like last second heroics, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, that'll go on a dead drop.
My favorite part about that goal is that Ovechkin is such a you have to keep an eye on him whenever he's on the ice.
Right.
He breaks a stick, and he just puts his hands up to his side, just like, I don't have a stick anymore. Right. And the goalie just sort of like watch him skate towards him with his arms out. It's just like, look, Jesus is coming by. And then all of a sudden the goal comes. It's like, oh, shit.
What sort of trickery is this?
It's just like Ovechkin's just like, hey, look what I can do. And the goalie's just like, wow. Alex, you're coordinated. Fuck.
It's like Jesus walking on water, kind of, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just gliding across the water. Ovechkin was kind of pulling the Jesus statue from like Rio,
right? Yeah,
like Jesus on the Mount.
Yes,
like that kind of.
Is that what it is?
Isn't it?
No.
I know it's Jesus.
Our Savior.
And I do believe it's Rio.
Jesus, it is Rio. I think the statue's called Jesus Our Savior.
I thought it was like Jesus on the Mount.
Nah, Jesus Christ Our Savior.
Yeah, okay. Well, whatever.
Anyway.
It's a big statue of Jesus in Brazil. Apparently they like him down there.
Yeah, they're fans.
They're fans.
They're Catholics, yes.
But yes, this is the interesting point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is there an interesting point? Because if it's hockey, generally. So are we changing the topic to something else? I didn't realize.
So far, the collective audience, the Anthem podcast, is just like...
Very much so. Yeah, I threw that story up on a dead drop because I feel kind of like Chris Hardwick when I talk about sports. I'm like, there's not enough sports here. Go team, score a touchdown.
Hey, how about that sports ball?
Exactly right. So I'm like, oh, the Caps did something. Let's toss that up there.
Dead drop.
Sure, yeah.
No, but this is transitioning to our next thing.
Right.
Me singing the anthem. We've decided that we're going to call it 10,000 people at the arena last night.
You were there. I couldn't tell you.
It seemed about 2/3 full, and
I don't vouch for Cory's numbers of how many people were at the.
It holds about 14,000.
Mm-hmm.
We looked it up beforehand. I said 15. Rob said something like 30. So we were both pretty
something
close.
In Baltimore used to hold 30,000.
Yeah, Camden Yards.
No. Before that. Wasn't before the arena there was something else?
Memorial Stadium?
But, no.
That would have been 70,000 about.
Right, this was downtown. Did they renovate the arena and cut down the number of seats?
Nope.
Fuck, I can't remember. I did a whole report on this in law school. We did like a group project.
Can't possibly Hippodrome?
That does hold a lot of people.
I don't think it's nearly 30,000.
Not 30,000 people, though.
That's probably about 10 times the amount it holds.
Yes.
But still, for a theater, 3,000 is a shit ton of people.
Big ton of people, yeah.
But
anyway.
the singing the anthem in front of 10,000 people, give or take,
right,
was less stressful on my heart than watching a hockey game on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Like waking up, just like eating pizza and drinking soda and eating wings and watching a hockey game. You'd think that would be like... Well, the first part of it isn't good for my health. But like the second part,
that might be why you were having chest problems.
The second part. No, but I was just like running around the house going like, this is why they're never going to win the fucking Stanley Cup.
Right.
They refuse to play defense. They refuse.
And then last minute goal.
Yes. And it was just like, Capitals, woo!
What did they say? Red?
Yeah.
They scream out at red?
Yeah. During the anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
losers.
They also have Unleash the Fury, which is great fun.
Unleash the Fury, Mitch. Unleash the Fury.
It's actually the line from Road Trip.
Now I'm disappointed.
They have Tom. They put up on the scoreboard Tom Green with like the guitar, and he's wearing a Capitals jersey. And he's just like Unleash the Fury, and they show like clips. There's like pumping like electronic music in the background. And, like, clips of, like, people getting hit and goals and everything like that. And then at the end, he hits it, and then he goes, Unleash the Fury! And everybody at the same time in Verizon Center yells it. It's good fun. They usually have a celebrity of some kind. They when they had the hockey game at the Baltimore Arena, where I sang the anthem, they had John Harbaugh say, Unleash the Fury.
Harbaugh? What? we talking about football?
Somebody say something about football?
Football?
Suddenly I'm awake.
But no, so you weren't there just singing at the hockey game. You were singing at the Professional Bull Riders Association.
Yes.
Brought to you by Pepsi.
Oh, my God. We'll get to that part. But, yeah, it was a very good time. I enjoy singing the anthem in front of people.
Mm-hmm. You always do. I know that you always mention it when you get back. Like, I forgot how much I love that.
Yeah.
Should do it more often.
That was the third time I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I hate about it is that I can't hear myself.
Right.
At all when I'm out there.
Best of luck.
So, like, if you want to know what it's like to sing the anthem, I guess especially at the Baltimore Arena, because there's no, like, monitor or, like, anything in your ears to, like, filter in your vocals. And there's a slight delay from the sound that comes out.
Right, so you have to be singing a couple seconds ahead.
Basically what you have to do, just, like, imagine putting, like, earmuffs on.
Right.
Like, where it blocks out the sound.
Right.
And then you sing, but you can't hear your own voice.
Right.
That's basically what it's like.
So it's like, see, I can still hear myself.
Right.
It's inside your head, though, right? That's all you can hear.
It's a little bit inside your head, but you can't determine if you're on pitch or, like...
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner... Yeah.
10,000 people looking at you, though. Too,
right, yeah. Not just your peering eyes.
Right.
I'm going to put my earphones back on.
No, but I finally got to hear myself sing it last night when my sister posted the video,
yeah,
so...
That was good.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was...
Despite your dad's comments.
My dad, after, when we were leaving the thing, he's just like, so, did you ever think about getting voice lessons? That's a really nice way of saying you like my singing. Thank you.
Well, I think, though, that you can take it negatively, or you could take it as him saying, you're, like, this close to being, like, a professional singer.
Well, yeah, that was his point.
Yeah.
I just found it funny that, like...
I love your dad's way of thinking. He's just like, there's no negativity can be taken from this statement. What are you being upset about?
You know, people would like you a lot more if you lost some weight.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm saying you got it all going for you, except for that. What do you... a lot of people don't have it all going for them.
Right.
So,
this is all that is stopping you. That was my point.
This is the only thing in between you and world domination.
Right.
It's 200 pounds.
Pizza. Chinese food.
I'm sorry I can't hear you. The cheesesteak is in my ears now. No, but it was a good time, and professional bull riding is a fun little event.
It is.
It's worth checking out.
And if you are listening to this in a time machine, you should go see it this evening on Saturday night at the Baltimore Arena.
If for whatever reason you're outside the window,
yes,
like listening to this podcast and not, on Tuesday or whenever.
Or if you have access to a time machine.
Or if you have access, the time machine is a very good. If you do have access to a time machine, though. Cory at theanthem.com. I got a lot of things I got to make up for it.
What's the first thing you fix? What do you do?
If I could go back in time?
Yeah, only one stop.
Fuck.
Only one stop. And here's what we do. I'm going to give you two options. You get one stop, but nothing else changes about you. You leave it at 30, and then you're stuck at 30. You have a return trip, Back to the Future style, but you go one time and come back. Or Terminator style. You go back, and you're stuck. What do you do?
Well, I think I'd like to... I've always wanted to be older.
Right.
Even when I was little, I wanted to be older.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to be at this 30 range.
Right.
And now that things are finally starting to happen...
Right.
Now that there's literally dozens of people listening to my voice every week.
Literally dozens.
Literally dozens.
Yeah.
I feel like this is, this is a good place.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to, like, go back to, like, high school and, like... do that, but I think honestly I would go back to when I was doing soccer.
Any point in history and you go back to when you were playing soccer?
Well, yeah, because then if I didn't tear my MCL that first time,
right, or you did get some medical care,
or I did get proper medical attention,
right, yeah,
then probably it wouldn't have torn so easily the second time,
right,
and then from every moment from that soccer game on, not even soccer game, talking about practice,
right.
Talking about practice. Not a game. Practice.
Yeah.
Every moment from that practice on has been incomprehensible knee pain for me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind if that wasn't the case anymore.
But that would change a lot about your life. Who knows?
Yeah.
You might have gone professional.
I might have actually been thin.
Well, that. You might have gone professional on one sport or another.
Yeah.
I heard you were pretty good in hockey growing
Yeah.
up. So, instead of going to college, you may have gone and played minor league hockey. You never would have met me. Then your life would be horrible.
Or maybe I'd just play for the Hofstra hockey team. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, no. So if you is that your return trip? You go back there and you tell 10-year-old you, like, go get that shit checked out.
It was 18-year-old me.
Oh, well, go tell 18-year-old you, like, go get that shit checked out because that's fucked up.
Or just don't run today. Like,
right.
Be sick
Skip
today.
Practice today. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's your return trip, or is that your one? That can't be your one way because then you're reliving the last 12 years.
And then I come back to now.
So if you can make a one-way trip, where do you go?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd probably go back to college. Do it right this time. Actually try.
Even though you're 30?
Yeah.
Because you'd be 30 when you got there.
Oh, I'd be... Well, I mean, I don't really look 30 to begin with, so...
you know what I mean.
I probably could fit in.
Right.
And, like...
Yeah.
You know, just say I'm 20.
Give it the old college try.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
What would your...
Most people say Hitler. They go kill Hitler. But I like where your head's at. It's very selfish of you.
Well, I thought that's what you were talking about. Just selfish things.
So, return trip.
Yeah.
I would go back to my 18th birthday.
Okay.
And I would, before I left, look up the winning lotto results. And then give that to me. Maybe not even the jackpot. Not like the Mega Millions, $400 million.
That'd be fun, though.
It would be. But just like the... Don't get into $250,000 worth of debt for college. Just like $200,000. And I know the 18-year-old me would have been smart enough to like invest it and like do the right thing, and that would leave me at zero today.
Yeah.
I might have that Seth Rogen like, I got $90,000 when I get hit by a mail truck when I was 17, but I've been basically living off that since then. Like, like
exactly.
That. But you know, it would keep me at zero. But the non-return trip, I would go back to like 1944, maybe.
Yeah.
And then enlist, catch the end of the war, because I know the war's about to end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I get to go and serve, and then I come back, and then it's the 30s or it's the 40s with the like. I'm watching Boardwalk Empire, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, I watched Midnight in Paris last week.
Oh yeah.
So I totally am all about like Paris and the like and going back and like F. Scott Fitzgerald,
right?
Hemingway and
but you can make your own way in the
Picasso
world.
And everything like that. Like,
make your own way. Half the stuff hasn't been done, and you get. I'll be honest with you. Watching Boardwalk Empire, I miss smoking.
You know,
I miss smoking, and then no guilt about it because like everybody smokes, so like we're all smoking. Lucky Strikes.
You know what might have been the way to go?
In this hypothetical going back in time adventure,
you take auto-tune.
Oh Jesus!
I'm assuming that the person who can't do this can't sing,
right?
Because everybody who does auto-tune can't sing. So
right. So let's assume it's me.
Let's assume Rob takes auto-tune and goes back to the 80s.
No computers.
You take the ability to use auto-tune.
I'm taking the whole box.
Yeah, you just take the
Is
whole
that
thing.
even compatible with the?
Sure, you can make a way. Find a way to make it work. Just put it on a fucking MacBook or something like that. And just go back and.
So then they're like, "What kind of witchcraft is this?"
This is my special singing box.
Right. Yeah.
But the music was so bad that if you could sing like halfway decent, then you could probably, and it was all kind of electronic and
it was back
fit in with that.
You made the money on the records, not the tour.
Yeah.
The tour was to sell records,
Right.
not the other way around.
Yeah, so you could have made a nice little little penny for yourself. But the problem
Isn't
is
that the concept of hot tub time machine?
it doesn't really. I didn't see that one.
What?
It doesn't really fit in any other era though, because if you go back to the 1920s with your auto-tune box and you're just like, "Do you feel?" and it's like all auto-tuney, then you're just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right. But the other side of the equation is,
get out of here, witch.
I could take the money that I have in my bank account now,
right,
and that would be like 10, 15 years of income.
Yeah.
Although the bills wouldn't be the right size. The bills used to be bigger. But I like the idea, like, while I'm watching that show, and I like the idea that literally, like, I could just take a train. I could take a 50-cent train ride somewhere and then get out and be like, all right, I'm going to make $1 million. Let's do this. And I could kill somebody here and then take a train 50 miles away, and they'd never catch me. That's the other part of that.
I was thinking what might be nice is because inflation is so, like, rampant, like, it's going so much higher now.
Yeah.
That, like, by the time, probably not while we're alive.
Right.
But, like, maybe our grandkids' age or something like that. Like, $1 million is going to be, like, nothing. Not nothing, but, like...
Well, $1 million is kind of nothing.
$1 million would be, like, equivalent to today's, like, $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, fucking almost everybody's $1 million, you know?
Right. Saying that you made $1 million in your life is nothing.
Right.
You want to make $1 million in a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, cars cost $70,000.
Well, a very nice car.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because I was trying to think of some way that you could go forward in time and, like, work, like, a job where you, like...
Make a shit ton of money.
Make a shit ton of money at an easy job. Like,
right.
You know, like, oh, I worked at McDonald's and made $1 million this year.
Right.
Like, I'm barely scraping by. And then you just go back in time with your $1 million, and then you're, like... I worked at McDonald's for a year, made $1 million, and I came back.
We would need a currency that was universal but not physical. That's the problem.
Bitcoin?
That's what I'm thinking. It's like
pay me in Bitcoin.
You know, for shit's sake, I would like to go back 5 years and buy $20 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's like...
Or you could always do the thing like, you know, invest in Microsoft before...
Right.
Or Apple when they're in a garage or
part of the
like
going
that.
back to 1945 would be like, there's a gay guy in London I want to talk to. His name's Turing. Let me take the $20 trip over there and just sit down with him and be like, listen, get the gun out of your mouth. Let's have a conversation about this computer thing that you're doing.
Let's have a real conversation about what's going on here with this computer stuff.
Right.
And,
yeah. But I mean, that's it. More importantly, you go back and invest in anything that became something else.
Yeah.
Standard Oil. That's a bad one because it got broken up. But like IBM, which
Blockbuster.
As long as I remind myself to get out before the crash. But
Before
no, like,
Netflix is invented.
You invest in IBM when they're doing like typewriters.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you know, we produce like 50 typewriters a year and it's nice and blah, blah, blah. And you know. Yeah. But you also need to get outdate on IBM too, because I'm not really sure that's the stock to be in today either.
You know what might make a funny bit? Because I was thinking, like, if you went back in time, you would have to make the money there to invest in. Right. So, like, you could go back in time and, like, be a lawyer. Right. But a whole lot of your knowledge base is based off of stuff that's happened since then. Oh, God, so you can't be like,
he didn't Mirandize you? Oh, well, we're going to beat this shit straight away. Well, he actually hit you in the interrogation room? Done. And then we get in court and they're like, so? Yeah. Or you just go like, Your Honor, in Brown versus Board of Education. Oh, wait. Fuck. Well, Roe v. Wade. No, hold on a second. Fuck. Yeah. I like how you name only the cases that you know. That's very cute. That's why I'm not a lawyer. But no, the other thing is, interesting conversation for the two of us to have, because this is like not academic. Like, yes, Burns, and he's like, I don't go back before 84. No, it gets real shady for me anytime before 1984. No, but what I like is the idea that you would go back and be like a lawyer in olden times to make money so that you can invest in something that's like worth nothing back then. Right. Or do the opposite, what you were saying, and go forward in time to where lawyers are making $1 million for nothing. Yeah. And the guy I'm fighting against is like, oh, Your Honor, like, seriously? You interrupted me during Now My Balls. Go away, Baton. Go away, Baton. By the way, that's 5 consecutive episodes referencing Go away, Baton. I don't like the fact that we watched the video, and there's not a picture of like Dak Shepard just like. So make that happen. I'll try to remember that. So the other part of this is that I was thinking about is the car, a brand new car. They talk about buying a Rolls Royce on Boardwalk Empire. Yeah, $3,900. Well, I'm like, what the shit? Well, not only that, you know, there's those cars too that like you don't think they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future. Right. You know, if you bought a Model T, I mean, it was a lot of money. $300. Yeah, it was a lot of money for
you know, how much, like, okay, so at the arena last night, they had, like, programs and stuff like that, like, on the walls of, like, famous shows, and it was, like, Aretha Franklin with Martha and the Vandellas, and, like, 5 other amazing bands that have, like, all kinds of Motown hits that you used to love.
But they were just...
And it was, like, the tickets to get in was, like, $2.50, $3.50. Well, like, $3.50 was, like, the best ticket in the house.
At that show that they
$3.50, not $350.
Right. And inflation does part of that, but the other part of it is that they weren't necessarily well known when they came through. Baltimore was one of the Motown cities because it was a predominantly black city, so you could come and see them. Motown 25 was a big deal. Do you remember? Have you seen that concert? The video of that concert? Yeah. But they literally everyone in the entire Motown industry, let's say, was at the show. Yeah. It was like a conference of everyone.
Convention.
Yeah, but everybody's there. Filled one theater. Now you'd never be able to do that. So.
Calling roll. Is Smokey here? Ooh, I'm here, baby.
Are we gonna go through that? Marvin is here.
Marvin. Ooh, sugar. There's Marvin.
Michael? Is Michael here? Michael?
Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Show me that you love me. Gotta stop now.
Yeah.
or else a fucking hologram's gonna sue me.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I'm watching Boardwalk Empire, and they're talking about a $3,900 Rolls Royce. Yeah. And, yeah, you're right. Maybe you buy that. Shit, what was I just thinking about the Nissan, the predecessor to the Nissan that Adam Carolla collects?
Datsun?
You buy a Datsun in 84, you're like, no, this is just a piece of shit to get me from A to B. And now they're like, what? You have a new condition Datsun?
Yeah.
What? Anyway.
Or even, like, the Shelby...
Oh, yeah.
Shelby GT500s from, like, the 60s and stuff like that. Like, those things are selling for, like, $2.5, $3 million.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, you spend $20,000 on that car. It hurts.
Right, which was still expensive for a car.
It hurts back then, but now it's worth $3 million. And that's...
Some guy at auction paid $85,000 for a 1985 Camaro. T-top Camaro.
Right.
Story on thededrip.com. And the whole point was that the person who was mentioning it was saying that how, well, one, it was in a barn somewhere, like in a storage unit, locked up, so it wasn't in great condition, but it was new. Still had the plastic on the dash and stuff. And they were saying that, now the people who drove that car are now rich. So they would have never kept that Camaro from 85. But now you got a bunch of 40-somethings who actually had that car in high school, upbidding each other on this fucking piece of shit Camaro from 1985. So nothing fancy. But the point being, I think I talked last couple of weeks about my car taking a shit, and I'm looking at buying a new car. And I'm like, a fucking Rolls Royce for $3,900. You could have done a straight up trade for your Subaru for that.
Yeah,
because it's worth $3,000.
Well, all right. So I have stories to tell of car shopping.
Oh, car shopping.
Rob's got stories to tell too because he.
Mine are better.
Yeah, well, his is finished with the sale.
Yeah.
I went to drive a Hyundai Veloster. Mm-hmm. And the saleswoman wasn't very good at her job, so I was getting anxious at the opportunity that I might be able to drop $8,000 off the price of the car.
There's blood in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the manager came by
took a shit on you
to tell me what he would offer me for my Subaru.
Right.
Now, anybody who's listened to this podcast knew that Subaru is in pristine condition.
Right.
It's barely been driven. It's basically just been on a
in the garage kept
on a plinth, with like the lights underneath, so it looks really cool.
Right.
Yeah. He offered me $3,000 for that car.
Now that was before you cleaned it out, right? Was that the stop before you cleaned it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But the Blue Book was in poor condition 9.
Right.
So he was offering me 33% value.
And I will say, all the jokes aside, you have kept the interior, other than like the cigarette packets on the floor, which is what it is.
Right.
It's in good shape. Yeah. It looks good. There's no like cigarette burns on the dash. There's no paint chipped away.
The whole car looks.
Oh, it's great.
Looks great.
Yeah. It was a little junky, but it's natural. You drive it every single day, kind of junky.
Yeah, well, it's I was living out of that car and didn't have time to clean it.
Right.
Kind of junky. But he said $3,000. I said, go fuck yourself, and I laughed. Later, I went to test drive a Honda Accord.
Right.
Which I really liked.
Right.
And
that had that weird feature. What were you telling me? Something about the screen changing? No, I can't remember.
Okay, so it's got 2 screens.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
It's got like the touch screen lower
for the radio and stuff.
Yeah, and it's got a screen up top which shows like information like regarding.
Can you control it with a wheel? Is that what it is? Like the wheel control?
No, it's controlled by the screen you can touch.
Oh, okay. All right.
So like you'll have like radio information on both screens.
I got you.
But like for whatever reason, anyway.
Because they're like, we got 2 screens. Yeah, put screens on your screen, son. Pimp my ride.
Yeah, just put a little exhibit like smiling picture. I put spinners on your spinners.
I want to go to the Accord dealership and just upload that picture to every car and just have it when you turn it on. It's like, I put spinners on your spinners.
Yeah, just put it because in Hondas you can make a background like a wallpaper picture on your car. Oh, just have exhibit smiling back at me all day.
2 screens? What? There's a fish tank in the trunk.
One screen not enough? How about 2?
Oh, no. Screens on screens.
Screens on screens.
Anyways,
but when you put the right blinker on, like you're making a right turn or merging right, there's a camera on the side mirror.
Right.
That shows on the big screen up top a view of your blind spot.
So you don't need to turn.
So you don't need to turn.
Right.
I wish it was kind of on the other one though, because it was almost impossible to see behind you.
Oh, they didn't have it on the left.
They didn't have it on the left, just on the right. And like when you did the turn to like check to see if anyone was there, like it was just like a lot of like fucking metal in front of you, and you're just like, well, that's kind of a blind.
But your mirror's right
blind
there.
Emerge. Yeah, but I mean, like sometimes you still don't want to like look in the mirror and be like, well, everything's clear. Like
you gotta do there's a way you position all the mirrors so that your side mirror should show the edge of your rear view mirror, and that means you have almost 180 degrees of vision with your eyes. Or almost 360 degrees vision with your eyes.
Right. I mean, it's still not good to make blind lane changes.
Especially if you're going to toss that little camera up on one side, why not put her up on the other side too? You know?
It would just be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because you're instinctively used to looking that way, so it catches your eye.
Yeah.
I don't know, for whatever reason.
Wait, did they have the second camera in like the premium package? Was that the premium package? If you do a lot of left-hand turning, what you're going to want is the LEX package because that's got the camera on that side too.
What I like, my dad's Infiniti has like cameras all over it.
Yeah,
it's got a camera in the front, and it's got cameras in the like on the sides. And it's got a rear view camera.
It's got the roadhead camera too that you can upload directly to the internet if you want.
So when you back up, when you hit in reverse, there's like 5 different camera angles on the screen that you're looking at. It's pretty nuts.
It's basically like sitting with the tailgate open and backing up.
Well, no, so like it gives you like the sides. Right. So like if you're like trying to like reverse into a parking spot, you can see the parking lines. And you know, or if you're trying to like park forward, like when you're crawling, it'll show like the front cam, so you can see like where the front bumper is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's crazy.
What does he drive?
Infiniti FX 45. I don't know. Big SUV. Big Infiniti SUV.
Well, you need it then. That's why you need the camera. Like mine, I can see the ground all the way around my car now. So
you also don't have a floor.
Oh yes, I just look straight down.
It's like fucking Fred Flintstones. Yeah. But yeah, I went back to the Honda dealer and said, "All right, what would you give me for the Subaru?" Mm-hmm. And they said $6,000. Now again, let's just say I would settle for $9,000.
Now, and did you make it clear though that was after the trade? I mean, did it include the payoff? Did you tell him how much you owed?
Yeah.
So maybe was after the
no, that was all in.
Okay.
So, but at the Honda dealer, I got a little chippy about it. Mm-hmm. I should have gotten chippy at the Jones, but I didn't think about this.
Such a rough. Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Jones, I was just like, all right, go fuck yourself, and I just left. But with the Honda, they said, we'll give you $6,000.
Right.
So if I was going to settle for 9, they were offering me 6. That was 66%.
Right.
So I said to them, oh, okay, so we're making the Honda 66% the value of it too, right?
Right.
If you're giving me 66% value for my Subaru, I imagine you're taking 66% value for the Honda that you're trying to sell as well. So I'll walk out of here with a $16,000 car. I don't really care.
And your math skills are usually better than mine, but that's horrible. What's 66% of 21,000?
That would be, well, I mean, 6 and 6 easily. So we got 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, 12.6.
$21,000 car. 66%.
Yeah.
It's 1/3 or 2/3. What's 2/3?
Oh wait, we got 13.
Close. 21 is equally divisible.
Oh, that's right. So we got 14.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is. What did I just? Didn't I just say 14?
Yeah.
What did I say before?
16 and then 12. Like you jumped.
Whatever. I'm doing.
No, wait. No, you're
listen,
right. It'll be 12.
Listen. The math part of my brain is shut down. The funny part of my brain is turned on.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
Only
can
one or
hear-
the other?
I can hear you all laughing, so I know it's working.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so I said that to them, and they laughed, and I said, I don't see what's so funny.
I was serious.
Because apparently what we're doing is making everything 33% less valuable, so
Right.
I figured you're willing to do that, too.
And no movement, though, on them at all?
Nope.
They said we're stuck there?
Yeah, well, I did the, all right, well, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I went outside and smoked a cigarette before I got in the car
Right.
to give them the opportunity to, like,
Right.
be like, come on, what can we do? Like, at least give them that moment.
Right. Which I got.
And the sales guy came out, and he was just like, so that's it? I'm just like, well, I mean, we got... Before we can even honestly start talking, we have to close this $3,000 gap somehow. Right. So, you know, I'm ready to buy a car right now, but I'm not even gonna come back unless we close that gap.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, let me see what I can do. Let me talk to my manager. You know, like, I got your number. I'll give you a call.
Right.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. Next day, it was, you know, it's New Year's Day. It's 3 o'clock.
Right,
I got off work. Or New Year's Eve.
Was it?
Yeah, New Year's Eve
yes,
at 3 o'clock. I got off work. Still hadn't heard from the guy, so I called him. I was just like, because I wanted to, if I was going to buy the car, I wanted to do it right then.
Yep.
So I could go to my parties and such. And I called him up, and I was just like, hey, this is Cory. Any word on movement with that? And he's just like, well, he was just like, oh, were we supposed to do something? I'm just like,
Okay.
yeah, you were going to talk to your manager. He's just like, well, actually, because it's a used car, you got to talk to somebody over in used. So I called over there. I explained the situation. I said, we're about $3,000 off.
Yeah.
See what you can do.
Oh, the Accord was used?
Yeah.
Oh.
It had 1,600 miles on it. It was used.
2014?
2015.
Somebody bought a car,
Yeah.
put 1,600 miles on it,
Yeah.
and then traded it in for something else.
Right.
I don't know that that's the best indicator.
What I imagine happened
Yeah.
is that somebody said, like, oh, yeah, I can drive a stick.
Oh, it was a manual.
And then drove it for, you
Right.
know, a month or 2 months, and they're just like, I hate this.
By the way, like he said, a month. I'm up at like 1,000 miles on my car.
It's been like a week.
It's a week old.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that's the real story here. Rob has purchased a car. He's
Yay!
a new car owner.
No, and I'm no longer borrowing the Buick, which is nice.
Right.
But yeah, I would like to say, just for the record, a thank you to Matt Eckert at Preston Nissan and to Laura at Hertrick in Denton. Both did an excellent job. But I ended up going with my experience at Jones was a lot different than yours.
Yeah.
Because I had the guy who said his first words out of his mouth were, "What are you here for?" And I'm like, I was trying to get something to eat. You guys got something to eat? And he was like, sorry. Like we had this little exchange.
Right.
And then I was just like, well, I'm seriously, I'm here for one car. I have the VIN. I'm looking for it right here. And so we went and looked for it, and he helped me find it. And I was just like, you are really laid back. What's the situation? And he's like, oh, yeah, so these guys think I'm taking a vacation starting Wednesday, but I'm actually moving on Wednesday. He's like, so I don't really, like, no offense to you, I don't really care. I'm wrapping up stuff here and then we're off. And I'm like, you sound like the right kind of guy for me to talk to.
Sounds almost exactly like the girl I was talking to at the other Jones.
Yeah.
Only she was just like, I don't think she was going anywhere. She was just a horrible salesperson.
Could be that too. Yeah.
She was like, well, usually this car costs a little bit more, but we're marking it down because we're trying to get rid of it before the new year. It's like, oh, good, thanks. Oh, sounds like you got more room to go.
Yeah. So I drove the Toyota there, and I drove the Kia there. I knew I was going to hit that thing.
Yeah, can't help yourself.
Yeah. So I drove the Kia, and I drove the Toyota, and both of them were nice. You joined me for the second half of the negotiation.
Yeah.
Made some promises that, well, first of all, there is another Kia dealership. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to talk shit about them. I'll fuck you guys for serious.
Yeah.
Because they got me, quote unquote, approved at a certain rate. And listen, I sold cars. I know how the game works. When you have a trade, it's a lot more easy to work with the numbers. It is what it is. But I had no trade and I had almost no money down, so we were just at the car. That's basically what it is. And those cars, those base model cars, don't have a lot of profit built into them, so we have to find profit different ways. And I looked online and I was like, listen, you and I both know if you sell a 2015 Kia before the new year, not only do you not have to pay taxes on it, which is great, you're going to get $1,000 from Kia for financing me through Kia Financial.
Right.
That's their little reward for you pressing Kia rather than Capital One, which gave me a little bit better rate because I have so much of a history with them.
Yeah.
But you are working me on Kia, and I know that's because you're getting the money back. So let's talk about the price because we can take another $5 off. You get $5, I get $5. You know, you take a hit, but that's fine. I did this. I know how this works.
Yeah.
And once you were there, is that when they tried to upsell me on the other one? Anyway, so I went to the shitty dealership, and they said, we got you approved at 0.9% for 72 months. And here's going to be your payment. And I was like, ugh. It was 3. I was like, that's a little more than I was looking to get. I was looking high 2s. It is what it is. And he was like, well, we don't have a lot of movement. And I was like, well, I do want to check out a couple other cars. I haven't driven the Toyota yet. I want to drive the Toyota. So I'll let you know. And so that dude did call like twice a day, every day, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
I finally had to call him back and be like, yo, bruh, listen, I bought a car. Anyway, so then I go to the other Kia dealership, and they're like...
Did you tell him that he totally fucked you, too?
Well, I did talk to him after the fact, and I was like, so that 0.9... So the whole point was, they never submitted me, they never did anything, I wasn't approved, and there was no way on the car he showed me he was getting me that payment.
Yeah.
It was going to be what ended up turning out with the other car, which was, like, oh, 280s? We can do that, no problem. If I get you to 280, will you buy the car today? And I'm like, yes. It had... backup camera and touchscreen and all the bells and whistles. Mm-hmm. And so then they ran it through, and turns out I don't qualify for 0.9%.
Right.
I qualified for, I think it came back the first time was 6.9%. I was like, well, shit. He was like, so the payment's a little higher than what we talked. It's $380. And I was like, that's not a little higher. That's $100 more per month. So we went through some bullshit, and the salesman was like really cool. He was just like, listen,
he was a really chill guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell you the car. If we don't make it work, I understand how it is. And he was working hard. He offered me floor mats or something at one point.
All-weather mats.
All-weather mats. So,
I do like when dealers talk about things and the price that they sell it to people for.
Yeah.
This is like, listen, we got these really nice all-weather mats.
$300.
$300. Like, you realize that, like, if I went to Salvo, those are like $30, right?
But in the Kia,
it doesn't say Kia on it.
Yeah. Anyway.
You can go to Salvo and buy those shitty $30 all-weather mats,
right?
And then you can go to Staples and spend an extra $2 on a Sharpie and crudely write Kia on them. But it's not going to be like the same. Not the same thing.
So I did the storm out. It wasn't a storm out. It was you and me sitting in the car.
Yeah.
And letting him like pace back and forth inside and look at us through the window. So I got the remote start put in, which originally was going to be splitting the cost. Anyway, here's the thing. I sold cars. I know the deal. I'm the guy, and he didn't care because he wasn't trying to sell me, but I will talk nothing but good things about Jones Junction forever now. You got me for
Not
the next
me.
2 years. Not you. But for the next 2 years, I'm going to start sending people there. I had a great experience. Your stuff aside, I'm going to say if you want to buy a new car, especially a new Kia, go to Jones Junction. You went to another part of the dealership and didn't have as good of a time.
You see, this is what I think is going to be like a long history of us and our endeavors.
Yeah.
Because Rob is totally for sale.
Yes, absolutely. 100% for sale.
There is a definite dollar sign for Rob.
But reviewing the things, there are 6 occasions in the last year, 2014, where I said things like, listen, Scores, if you give me the free VIP for the year, I will say Scores 10 times per episode. This is brought to you by Scores. But I am for sale, absolutely.
But I am very much the opposite way. So I imagine that we're going to get to the point where it's like at the professional bull riders thing. I was telling you about this. The everything is sponsored.
Right. Yeah.
The rodeo clown has Cooper tires on his shirt.
Yeah.
And like whenever there's like a cowboy on a bull.
Yeah.
In the chute, they're just like, we go over to the Live in Las Vegas chute.
Right.
Where
and the camera behind the cowboy.
Where J.B. Smith is riding Buckaroo. And then they pull the thing, and it's just like, Vegas is away. Let's look at that on the Coca-Cola replay.
Right, yeah.
Oh, man, is that refreshing. like, just throughout
everything.
every single time they get, this next word brought to you by Nokia.
Like, are they still doing stuff? Are they still sponsoring stuff?
Do they exist anymore? I thought they... Whatever.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, but no, yeah, absolutely, I will do that. Rob's
gonna be the person who just goes like, "This next segment brought to you by Jones Junction." I'm just like, "Fuck Jones Junction!"
Like, yeah, you're killing me. You're killing me.
You'll be like, "Listen, if you want a great new Kia, talk to my boy. He's got you all set."
Right.
And you know what? If you go in and you say, "Oh, the Anthem," then you're gonna get an extra 5% off. Right there, just
$500
like
flat.
$500 flat, right off the top of your car.
Right.
And then back in this corner, I break out of my fucking Hannibal Lecter thing that you put in the straight jacket and the mask. I just break out. I'm just like, yo, fuck those guys. You want to hear about what they did to me? They offered me an insulting amount of money for my car. An insulting amount. I literally looked at the guy and told him to go fuck himself. That's how you get treated at Jones Junction.
So here's what we'll have to
then
do.
You finish up, you're just like, so if you go to jonesjunction.com.
No live drops. No live drops, no lives at all. It's going to be, and we'll be right back after this. And we'll take a break, and then my pre-recorded Jones Junction, where we need to have a new producer so I can point at him and be like, cut his mic now. You're costing us money, man.
Or even worse, I hear about it after the fact. Like,
yeah,
it's just like,
you're listening to it on the mic. You
fucker! We're talking about before the show. You're just like, I think we're gonna take a break like halfway through, and I'll be like, oh great, finally I can smoke a cigarette at the 30-minute mark.
Right, yeah.
And then I go away, I smoke my cigarette, and then just like you're in here, like turn on the thing. Jones Junction is a great place to buy a car.
Right, but now
and then it sneaks through, and then on Tuesday when it gets released,
you son of a bitch, Rob, you asshole.
No, but you come out to the live shows. Cory's wearing the Anthem gear. I have the.
You're wearing a Cooper Tire shirt.
Where are my Cooper Tires people out here? Yeah, look at that whole family. All right.
That was the part that I found the most fascinating about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like the sales or the sponsorship was intense. Like everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything that could possibly have a fucking dollar sign on it. The rodeo clown.
Mm-hmm.
The main guy, who was pretty funny. He was enjoyable.
And he was mic'd, right?
Yeah. So he was like talking to the crowd and the sponsors and or the announcers and everything like that. But he was wearing like the more I think about it, it's more like a BMX shirt.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Wait, did he have like padding on it too, or was it just like a straight shirt?
I don't know if it had padding or not, but it was like a long sleeve.
Looked like it could have.
Yeah.
Not a hockey jersey because it wasn't big and fluffy.
Right.
But it was large.
Yeah, it was kind of like a BMX shirt though. And it just had like Cooper tires on the front, Cooper tires on the back, Cooper tires on the sides, on the sleeves and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And he was like, at one point during the show, he's just like, if you go out to the merchandise booth, you can buy this Cooper Tires jersey.
Right.
And then there were like a family of people all wearing Cooper Tire jerseys going like, woo! In the back.
He's pointing up to them.
He's just like, there's my Cooper Tire people. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
but yeah, his job, he makes like $10,000 a year, but the sponsorship's worth $160,000. Like, we counted 77 mentions of Cooper Tires, and you referred to the jersey 25 times. Yeah. So we're going to write you a check for $27,000. Okay. Can I put my dick on a Cooper Tires? Like, look at that. This sex brought to you by Cooper Tires.
Never lose control of what you're doing.
The only kind of rubber I want.
No matter how wet it is, I always stay on track.
Boom.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cooper Tires.
I am 100% for sale.
And yeah, but because I've not, and I've said Cooper Tires 97 times here in the last couple minutes. But Cooper Tires. You know what, Cooper Tires? Go fuck yourselves.
Oh, seriously, Cooper Tires, if you're looking for a sponsorship, you get in touch with me.
Seriously, just lick your finger, and then just rub it along the inside of the Cooper Tire that you've just come off the assembly line.
Yeah.
And imagine that's your mama's asshole, and you're fucking it now.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I am 100% for sale. I will do any kind of sponsorship. And part of my thing to the people I was buying the car from is like, listen, you can't get around me. I've done this before, so I know all the little things that you do. I know how this works. I know when you have a trade that they shift, they're like, oh, we'll give you $5,000 for the trade, and then you end up paying more for the car. You know what I mean? Like they move it around. So I didn't have a trade. I didn't have that problem. But I was like, listen, but I'm going to be your cheerleader. You know, the dozen or more people who in the next 3 months, well, the dozens of people who listen to the podcast, and the dozen or more people who ask me personally, like, I'm looking for a car, where should I go? Absolutely, you should go to Jones Junction Kia. I had a great experience up there. Go talk to my man TJ, and they're going to hook you up. I'm
actually glad that I spent so much time talking shit about Jones Junction on this episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to, I still want to write an angry email to them.
Right.
Just being like, listen, you had an easy sale.
Yeah.
I was ready to buy right then.
But you insulted me.
Everything seemed right, but you insulted me too many times. And now guess what? Your name's been talked shit upon on a podcast.
Right.
So deal with that, suckers.
And like the 50-year-old guy answering the letters like, what the fuck's a podcast? Is this the thing we should be worried about?
You know how I read an article about how your sales were down? Yeah. Probably because people are talking shit about you on podcasts.
Anyway, but TJ, to his credit...
So go fuck your mother.
Did that guy from that TJ gave you ever call you? Or did you call him?
No.
Well, you were supposed to call him, right?
Yeah, but he's down in Bowie. I haven't gotten around to that yet.
That's a bit of a drive.
It's a bit of... I don't even want to go to Columbia. There's a car I want to get in Columbia, and I'm just like, ugh.
Meanwhile, I have driven from Denton to do the podcast tonight, just so that's clear. Which is why I will always be for sale, and Cory can do whatever it is that he does. But no, so I said to... And TJ...
Listen, I'll gladly take the money.
You just won't promote
I just won't do it. I won't say a word.
Listen, all you have to do is remain silent. All you have to do is remain silent while I do the drop. That's it.
No, fuck them.
So when I do something like... don't forget, this and every Tuesday night, Burger Night at the Market Street Pub. Come down to the Market Street Pub. It's going to be your perfect family environment. That's why I love it. It's like going down to the kitchen down the street. Burgers on Tuesday, pasta on Wednesday, karaoke every Saturday, trivia with Norm every Monday. The Market Street Public House. If there's a place you're going to find me any night of the week, it's going to be there. Check it out, Market Street Public House. That's all you have to do is stay silent. That's exactly what you need to do.
You know what I
one thing I thought you wouldn't talk shit about.
You know what I like about the Market Street Public House?
What's that?
Honestly had this thought last night. It's kind of funny that you brought it up.
Yeah.
Brian looks so much like Dooley Hill, like an older Dooley Hill. And I've been watching The West Wing so much.
Right, yeah.
That like I've seen Charlie all the time, and I'm just like,
fucking Brian.
It's like Brian, like 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Brian is therefore kind of responsible for Zoe getting kidnapped.
What?
He's the doppelganger. Like a doppelganger Zoe has now been kidnapped.
Okay.
So if you're all for members of the first family getting kidnapped by terrorists, then yes. Market Street Public House.
Anyway. But no,
see how I turned that around?
Right. My point is,
see how that's a great dropper?
When I was doing the drop, all you had to do was stay silent. Let me take the money.
Yeah.
I will give you your portion, which is significantly less because you talk shit about the products. Sometimes you're going to end up owing the podcast money. I'm like, so you actually cost us $500 this month, so I'm going to need a check.
We had $100,000 in sponsors coming in, and we only received 0 of it because of you.
So you owe us
$100,000.
Right, exactly right. Anyway, but
you can just write me a check for $50,000, and then we'll be done with it. You don't even need to collect your end.
Right, that's true. Although now, because for business purposes, we are going to have you pay it into.
Oh, and then I can get it back.
And then you can get back nothing. No, I guess you'll get back the 50.
Right.
50,000.
So I'll pay in the 100 and then get 50 back.
Right. Yes.
Well, that doesn't seem so bad now.
Can you imagine a day when we're doing that math? Like, listen, you talk shit about one of the sponsors. No. It's the corporate parent of the corporate parent of the corporate parent of the sponsor.
Yeah.
Stamps.com. You insulted the Postal Service, and little did you know, the Postal Service actually owns Stamps.com. So what happened is that you cost us a sponsorship, so we're going to have to make that work.
Does the USPS actually own Stamps.com?
I should put a disclaimer. Stamps.com is independent, is not owned by the U.S. Postal Service whatsoever.
Because I think that would actually be a kind of bold marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Because
actually, I don't know that. We should check that.
Every single time that I see like somebody actually do a thing for Stamps.com.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking shitty service anyways. He probably didn't even...
What? Zombie! You're killing me, man! They're like the first ones to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah. Oh, God, you're the worst. You're the worst kind of person. You want to work your shitty job forever, don't you? You just have no interest in quitting your job whatsoever. We can both make $70,000 a year from Stamps.com, and you're just like, oh, fuck Stamps.com.
Here's what I think would be the genius part: if the U.S. Postal Service actually owned them.
Yeah.
And then the entire marketing strategy
talking shit about
the Postal Service. Yes. And just like, you ain't the Postal Service, right? You think they're a bunch of dicks? Stamps.com.
That's how they make the transition. Yeah. And then they start closing the branches. It's all online.
People are just like, wow, Stamps.com is much better than the post office. And,
and the Postmaster General.
Postmaster General with his white cat. Sitting at the top of the U.S. Postal Building.
Is there a thing? Is there a thing?
Sitting on the 47th floor of the U.S. Postal Building.
I don't think that's a thing.
In Des Moines.
I don't think that's a thing.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, so my point is...
where does the Postmaster General work out of? His brute.
He's probably got a secret lair somewhere.
I wonder if he wears the shorts, too.
What shorts?
The shorts that the post people.
No. That's his funny joke on that. Anyway, so...
He wears a suit, but he cuts it short length.
Culotte length. Not up here. It's culotte length. It's down here. Anyway, so what
it's like the waiters.
Yes, exactly.
An opportunity for me to do the Millhouse joke where like the water comes flooding in. He's just like, my shoes are soaking wet, but my cuffs are bone dry. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Anyway, what we've determined is that Rob needs to have a kill switch on Cory's mic so we can have a chance of making money doing this. And if you're looking for a new car, you should check out Jones Junction Kia in Bel Air, Maryland. Go see my buddy TJ. He's fantastic, and he's did me right. So.
Or if you like to get fucked raw dog style, then go see Jones Junction.
That was weird interference.
Yeah,
for a second.
It almost sounded like Donald Duck.
It did a little bit, didn't it?
Sounded like Donald Duck. He couldn't quite get the words. He was just about to come. He's just like...
Anyway, if you're on the Eastern Shore, you should go check out Matt Eckert at Preston Nissan.
Yeah, I think we did just about enough time.
At Denton Hertrick.
If you want to get more of the Anthem, go to otheanthem.com, Cory at otheanthem.com, O The Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube. Go to the Google. I want to see if people just like us on Google+. It's getting lonely there.
Yeah, not a lot of love on Google+.
Yeah.
But I think it's because there's nobody on Google.
Maybe.
We've gotten the 13 likes that we're going to get.
I just want to see if we can get like one more like this week and just like somebody's just like, I'll follow you.
Sure.
I'll follow you on the social network I never check into.
Right. That's fine though.
And the listener line 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
1-800-GO-FUCK-YOURSELF. It's 443-219-7595.
Stamps.com.
enter the promo code. enter the promo code pedophilia for 20% off your next order.
Enter the promo code OTA on Stamps.com. What if they contacted us because they started getting people are entering this OTA thing? I didn't realize. Apparently, we missed a contract somewhere. We probably owe you guys some money. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
In fact, you do.
Yeah, we were just about to write you a letter about that.
Don't listen to episodes. They're not in the podcast.
They don't listen to this shit.
Just write checks.
Just checks. We just we mentioned it 39 episodes. We mentioned it like 148,000 times.
Isn't that how the post office got in trouble? Just writing checks.
I think so, yes.
Not having enough money to cover it.
Anyway, you can reach me.
Great business model, Stamps.com.
You can reach me on all your social networks at Robert and Cheek. Facebook at Robert and Cheek. ROBERTNCHEEK. On Instagram and Tinder and Snapchat and Twitter and everywhere. Also check out deaddrop.com for all the most interesting stories that you're missing on the web, including a lot of the ones that we talked about here.
Yeah, there's a couple dead drop
always
mentions
dead
today.
drops. Including
a hockey game. Can you believe that shit?
I know. Who would have thought that would be on a dead drop? Foundingthefuture.us for the blog. And I want to say a big thank you to all my policeman followers who have started boosting those numbers up. And
Buy Rob's book.
Buy Rob's book. Actually, I got to do your captions in that. Sign them. Do that thing.
You can take those home with you and just do them on your leisure.
I may have to, because I do want to make it personal.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be like the first numbered 30 or whatever. And then once it hits the bestsellers list, then we'll get like a paper or a hardback and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, you know.
I'll buy 5 of those.
Right. Hopefully, I'll get a discount on those.
You remember the inscription from the first book? Same at you, bud. Rob.
Oh yeah, and I'll totally put that in the next book if I ever get it out. I just have to get those edits back from people.
Yeah.
Whenever that, I thought somebody told me they were going to have it by New Year's, but that's not important.
I had something come up. Literally come up.
I think it's shot.
Anyway.
So the movingtinsurrection.com, foundingthefuture.us, a deaddrop.com, and again, Robert and Cheek at all your social networks.
Yeah, so
wait, you know what I noticed? We keep missing this.
What?
You've been listening to the The Anthem podcast, part of the The Anthem digital network. For Cory, this is Rob. Happy 2015, and have a great week, everybody.
And fuckstamps.com.
Oh, God.
So there you have it, episode 39 of the Anthem podcast. Before you go, make sure you check out the 2014 Spotlight Special, featuring all of our favorite moments from the last year, and the full episode from last week. As always, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everybody.